I love playing with the World Super League Football Manager add-on. This add-on takes 1,400 of the best teams in the world and puts them together in one massive league structure. It's a ton of fun and it provides endless variety and all sorts of crazy storylines. But some of the team selections are interesting. Hallam, the second oldest club in the world out of Sheffield, England, are included as one of the least reputable clubs in the editor data file. And believe me, this is a challenging team to manage. When I first discovered this a few years ago, I thought that this would be the ideal situation for a long-term save. Sandygate is the oldest football ground in the world, after all. Imagine bringing a team like Hallam up to the top. I've also always been fascinated with the Youth Academy Challenge. If you're not familiar with it, this is the challenge in which you take control of a lower league side and guide them along without buying or loaning in any players. The only players you can play are the ones who come through your youth system. Well, as you can guess, this isn't a challenge for the faint-hearted. In fact, I'm not entirely sure that I'm ready for the challenge myself. I did a few things to make this a little bit easier. I made a few modifications to Hallam's owner. I gave the club a lot more money and I gave the owner a lot of patience with me just in case things don't work out. Also, in the interest of time, I modified Hallam's youth structure. I made it one of the best in the world. I even gave Hallam a perfect head of youth development, mostly to see what would happen if I did. Hallam actually comes with real-life players in Football Manager, believe it or not. That's pretty good for a club in the 9th tier of English football. I removed those players though. You know why? Because I would rather play with the newgens. And of course, I went out and found a solid tactic from FM Arena rather than messing around trying to make one myself and letting you guys yell at me. Well, I guess this means that this isn't a proper Youth Academy challenge, and as you'll see, the modifications might have made our club a little bit too powerful. I knew something was up right away when one of our players was listed as a favorite for top goal scorer. This was Sam Johns, a player that was clearly too good to play for a team at this level. Johns only lasted half a season for us before he was picked up by Shanghai Shenhua. Yeah, I was worried that this sort of thing would happen. You know, the better we played, the more our good players would stand out compared to the other clubs in the world, and that meant that the chances of us holding on to them forever were pretty slim. Aston Blakey, our captain, stood out as a player with obvious star potential. The same was true of Jaden Wood, our vice captain. But the best of the players we started out with was clearly goalkeeper Sam Killock, a model citizen who really is too good for a team at this level. I'm not sure if our excellent starting squad is due to the head of youth development. I'm not sure if it was just the luck of the draw. Regardless, we came out of the gates in this save completely on fire. We won our first 6 matches and we won most of them by huge margins. And it turns out that the real star was this man, Jake Clarkson. As you can see, he's really not the sort of player I'd normally think of as a star. And that is the real joy of the Youth Academy Challenge. You are forced to play players that you normally wouldn't play. And you know what? Sometimes some of those guys are better than the guys who are supposed to be good. Clarkson scored goals for fun.
And he's forced to go crossfield. Brilliant!
Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen a guy dominate a league the way he did in August. We wound up setting a team record with those 6 straight wins before our first loss. And we kept on winning. By January 1st, Clarkson was the leading scorer in the league. And by February 1st, we were in a commanding position in our league. Okay, it's not like we had the best competition in the world. I mean, we're still at the bottom level. We're in the 6th run of the World Super League in the so-called Super League 5. But still, I wasn't expecting us to dominate like this right off the bat. I don't know, maybe the tactic had something to do with it. By the time we had our first youth intake, I thought we were going to coast to the finish. Among the future stars we got were Andy Grant, a great-looking left-back, and then there was Sam Freer, a talented defender who could handle several positions. Meanwhile, Callum Nile was my kind of striker, somewhat fast, professional, and young. Well, that's the joy of this challenge, collecting a bunch of young players, training them, and then watching them turn into world beaters. Well, at least I hope they'll become world beaters. Now, as much fun as this challenge is, there are rough patches. One of our best defenders complained that we had no depth at defensive midfield, and there was nothing I could do about it. It's a game of patience, I suppose. You grit your teeth, you hold on, and then you hope that the morale gods don't work against you. Despite the complaints, we won promotion in our first season pretty early.
Oh, that's fabulous!
We were in the running for securing the title through April, though we started to falter a little bit. We went into our final game at Hampton and Richmond on top by 1 point, needing a win to secure the title. But we gave up an early penalty.
Here we go. There's a goal!
We came back to tie with a late goal.
There's a goal!
And then it was this great Clarkson shot that gave us the lead.
Terrific skill. And it's there!
Sam Freer, however, picked up his second yellow card a few minutes later. And they equalized within seconds, and that's how this one ended.
It is a fantastic goal!
We wound up only a point away from winning the league in our first season. Isn't that crazy? We started off with nothing but newgens. We didn't buy any players. We had a bunch of players on the squad that I normally would sell and replace. The players are as inconsistent and as injury prone as they came, and a lot of them are not fast. And what did we do? We won the league in our first season. Maybe I made it a bit too easy somehow. Clarkson was the top goal scorer in the league. He was also the player of the season. And we did it playing mostly in front of an empty stadium. Yeah, about that. As much as I love Sandygate and the romance of playing in the oldest pitch in the world, we're going to get to the point pretty quickly in this save where we need a place that can actually hold us, and you'll see why in a second. We entered the 2024-25 season predicted to finish 23rd and be relegated. But as you can see here, we started attracting new fans right away. Okay, I want to emphasize what you just saw. We went from 60 season tickets sold the first season for a stadium with only 250 seats, mind you, most of those are standing room only seats, to over 900 sold the second season. I mean, promotion here really pays off. And we started the second season off on fire. Adam Hult, a Swedish newgen, found himself sent off in a tough FA Cup encounter at Finnish side HJK.
It's a red card.
But we managed to win that one with this late goal by Jaden Wood, down to 10 men.
We've got a goal!
By the end of September, we had a 6-game winning streak on our side, and we were feeling mighty fine. Okay, I really can't explain this one. The newgens are pretty good, but honestly, they're not that good. The tactic can help, I suppose, but even still, I mean, we're playing way over our heads. I really don't know what happened. We had a great September, and we followed that up by an October that was almost perfect, other than the FA Cup loss. This news article in November kind of tells the story. I accidentally gave us the 7th best youth setup in the world. So yeah, that's probably what was going on, I think. I don't know though, and I still don't think that these players are the best newgens I've ever seen. I don't know, maybe squad cohesion has something to do with it. By December, we had vaulted ourselves into the promotion race. And we also had this stadium expansion to look forward to, giving us almost 400 extra seats. As you can see, we needed those extra seats. We were selling out every home match in December. We seemed to have a different hero every day.
Reservation mode. That was impressive. Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy.
But there was still that problem with squad depth at defensive midfield. I really wish that I could push a button in game to say, hey guys, you know what, the way that I'm managing the club, I just simply can't buy players. I mean, sure, we have money. Remember, I gave us a sugar daddy owner who keeps dumping money into the transfer budget that I'm not even using. And yeah, I can definitely see from the player's perspective how strange this is. But seriously, when we're winning like this, what do you have to complain about? By early March, we were second in the league and we were in the running to win the league outright. But then we started to falter. By the middle of April, it looked like we were really going to blow it. We had gone 6 matches without a win, and I couldn't get anything to work. We were up 2-0 early on league leaders Derry City, but then they started to come back.
Here's the delivery. Magnificent!
We were close to winning it, but we had to settle for a draw in the end.
To clear. Oh, what a waste that one is.
And there was still a major chance that we weren't going to be promoted at all. This was really one of those seasons for the ages. Every single match counted, and I was getting ready to rip my hair out. Killock gave up this ridiculous own goal against Hartlepool.
Oh, it's a beauty!
The result, another loss for us. We were holding on for dear life at this point. As you probably guessed, this all came down to the final match of the season. Yeah, of course it did. We were on the road at Harrogate with a chance to win the league outright with a win or to lose promotion with a loss. The only thing we could do was try to win.
Nice and neat. Find themselves in a wide position. Oh, how's that for a goal?
This penalty put us up 2-0 with 15 minutes to go.
He wants to put it. Yes!
However, another own goal put them within 1.
Oh, how's that for a goal? Who wants
In
it?
the end, though, we were able to control the ball and our emotions for a great victory.
Takes aim and crosses, capable of taking it.
That's right, we were promoted 2 seasons in a row. We used a completely homegrown team of nothing but newgens. We bought 0 players. Fortunately, we only sold 2 players, but we bought 0. And I'm not sure how far we'll be able to go when all is said and done. Sam Killock won the Golden Glove despite suffering from injuries all season long. Meanwhile, I won Manager of the Season. The standings give you an idea of just how close the season was. We should consider ourselves lucky. Clarkson was bothered by injuries all season, and yet he still managed to lead the league in goals, and we almost sold out every match. The board was happy with our achievement, which is always nice. But then there were the improvements to the stadium. Yeah, so it turns out that improving Sandygate to comply with the Super League 3 requirements means going to an all-seater, apparently. And that puts our capacity back down to 370. I mean, we're really going to need a new season soon. The odds are against us once again, but then again, we're used to being at the bottom of the preseason charts. And look at how pathetic Sandygate is compared to the other stadiums in this league. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this pans out. I'll play through another season or 2 and I'll keep you filled in on the action, so look out for it coming up, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. And most importantly of all, let me know down below what you think of this idea and of what's happened so far.